Greetings, Upstanders. Dr. O here, and like many people across the country and around the world, I wanted to, share my respects to the late Viola Fletcher, uh, one of the remaining survivors of the Tulsa massacre. And in my book Lies About Black People, I quote her when she was 108. She passed at 111 years old, and she was testifying before Congress. And just to give you a little bit of her story, she wrote on May 31st, 1921, I went to bed in my family's home in Greenwood. The neighborhood, and as I'm reading, just imagine if it was you at 7 years old. The neighborhood I fell asleep in that night was rich, not just in terms of wealth, but in culture and heritage. My family had a beautiful home. We had great neighbors. I had friends to play with. I felt safe. I had everything a child could need. I had a bright future. Within a few hours, all of that was gone. This was the story. This is what happened. We're talking about a situation where dozens of people were left dead, and that's a small estimation, right? Over 10,000 were left homeless, and over 1,400 homes and businesses were burned down, and nobody ever faced accountability for it. We talk about her and her looking at getting reparations for what happened to her. How about the fact that there were no consequences for anybody as it relates to what was actually done that day, including a plane flyover dropping bombs? So when I think about that, when I think about her brother, Hugh's Uncle Red Van Ellis, someone who fought in World War II. This was a man who said that, he said, please do not let me leave this earth without justice, like all the other massacre survivors. And now they're both gone, leaving Leslie Benningfield Randall as the sole survivor of the Tulsa massacre. This is who Mama Fletcher was. And the way that this society, the way that this country let her down, the way that this country let that entire community down. I mean, there were black soldiers who fought in World War I, who were in there, who were killed trying to defend their community. And then people don't even want to talk about the thousands of black survivors who were actually placed into internment camps where they had to stay until white people came to vouch for them to get them out. This is what she lived through. And then became a welder of, during ships in World War II, became a domestic for years as well. I'm thankful that people like Demario and other attorneys and lawyers and activists and educators and people in Tulsa, the new mayor there, were able to embrace her in ways that the rest of us couldn't around the world, because we all just wanted to physically, wrap her in our hearts. And but so many people took care of her, but she didn't get the justice that she deserved. And that is an indictment on America. Why is it so hard to give black people what they're owed? Why is it so hard to recognize black pain? She said that she lived her entire life with the fear that they were going to come for her again, from age 7 all the way to 111. And as I talk about in the book, with the way things are going now, she may not be wrong. And my book came out in 2023, and it's only gotten worse. If you look at these ICE raids and whatever's coming down the pike next, Trump wanted to talk about what he wanted to do with homegrowns, quote unquote. But Mama Fletcher, you were an incredible light to the world. You got to travel the world, Ghanaian citizenship, and you were just loved and beloved. And from listening to all the people who knew you or were around you and who celebrated you online, I'm just happy to know that you received the love from your community, which should be the American community overall. And of course, there were other people who are not directly part of our community who reached out and poured in the love as well. But you are cherished in our society. You're cherished in our community. We're not going to let your story be forgotten. So may you forever rest in peace and power. Your work is done. We got it from here. Peace.